Oh, that noise, that face always sums it up. The face that's going to like play really well for the people listening to this after the fact.
Yeah, it's going very, very well for the audio listeners.
Yeah. But Lucas, what episode are we on today?
I believe it's 81.
81. Bloody hell. Did you think we'd be doing this like, what, 81 weeks later?
I mean, a lot longer than that, but
Yeah, it's longer than that. It's with what, like 6 month, 7 month hiatus in
we
between.
did,
So
yeah.
81 episodes of just us chatting the most amount of bollocks imaginable. But once again, yeah, we're recording this live on Twitch, and to our Twitch viewers and the people watching at home, it's appreciated. We'll refer to chat as and when we can. But for everyone listening at home, I hope you're doing a bit better because, like, the world's starting to get back to normal this week, and I can't wait for that to get fucked up.
Yeah, it's like the amount things are opening back up in one big go makes me a
Mhm.
bit scared.
I think it got summed up to me when I was looking at my just like YouTube. You have the trending tab with news in it,
Hmm.
and it was pubs, and like I'm not kidding. Like in basically this order, it was pubs reopen in the UK. Where can you not go? Where can you and can you not go in the UK? The next one, Britain prepares for Indian COVID variant. Next one, there is nothing to fear about the Indian COVID variant, assures lawmakers. The very final one, 1,000 people already dead or infected with Indian COVID variant. It's just looking up. Oh,
Yeah, and like it's that thing of, our government turn around and go, we know about the variant, we know it's going to be a problem, but don't worry, everything's going to go as far fine as planned, and we don't foresee it having any impact. It's like, wait, so you say you know it's a problem, but don't worry, it's not going to have any impact. It's like, which one is it?
it's just I don't know. So I'm odds on lockdown 4. I'm odds on that. I'm
Yeah,
betting we're gonna
I'm
have another one.
wondering whether like the is it 21st of June? Like, is shit gonna hit the fan before 21st of June, where the country, I like the UK anyway, is meant to like open back up?
Again, like fully proper. But either
Mm.
way, yeah, get to a pub while you can, I suppose.
I guess so.
Uh,
Like last time, I kind of missed out. So I guess
I've been out once.
I
I've always
went.
done it.
I might go out like one time because my girlfriend Jenna's her birthday is like coming up. So I think
Yeah,
we might try doing something for that, but then leave it at that
yeah.
and just take it easy, see where things go.
Yes, I went to the pub with Adam, and it's that pub that we know the owner, and we social
Oh yeah.
distanced, and I took a test before I went, and I fucking hate them COVID tests. Have you taken one yet?
No, but
They are, oh man, they're not nice. Like, you got
I
to shove the
have
thing all the
one.
way up your nose.
Yeah, we have one sitting on our table because like this weekend is like around the time of mum's birthday, and we're having people around in the garden for like a barbecue, or
Mhm.
weather permitted anyway. It might not end up being a barbecue, but yeah. So that test is sitting there for me over the next like day or two.
You're just looking at it going, oh, you don't want to do that, dear. So I would not recommend it, but let's move past that. Actually, you know what? We've spent enough time talking about the lockdown, and it's going to happen anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to address, Luke, is why is Mickey Mouse just behind you celebrating a massive party? Because I need to describe this to the people listening at home who can't
Mm,
see. But Lucas, out of nowhere now, just has a giant Mickey Mouse behind him with a bow tie, doing the bow tie. Ta-tee.
yeah, and essentially like last time I was talking about how because the sun like is coming through that window so
Is that what it's
brightly.
for? Okay, I was wondering, like, it
Yeah.
legit looks because it's so bright that something you've like edited into the background, but it's not edited
No.
in good enough. Where I think you've done it on purpose.
Yeah, it's like a little bit janky, a little bit wonky, but I basically went this covered up enough of the window that's like getting the sunlight through.
Mhm.
There's a bit just to the side of me where it's not quite covered by the blanket, but I was like putting a blanket over there might as well like help a little bit because rather than all of this light flooding in, it's gonna be like stopped a little bit by this thin blanket. But then I looked and was like, what blanket do I want to use? Fuck it, Mickey Mouse is going in the background.
Yeah. So I hope you don't get copyrighted by Disney for
Yeah,
using their intellectual property.
I know, right? Like, what happens if they creep in and go, we can see Mickey Mouse in your background? Like, we're taking this down.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We've not really dealt with that in regards to copyright. It's mostly music where you
Mm.
get caught, or not like caught out for, I should say. And there are some insane like horror stories from streamers and YouTubers of like The one that sticks out in my head is a guy who was live streaming on his phone. Do you know that thing where they're just like talking into their phone? And he
Oh,
walked
yeah.
past the cafe, and the cafe was playing music inside, and he got copyrighted within 30 seconds. Like he didn't even get to the end of the road before his live stream had finished before he got struck with a copyright hit.
Oh my god.
Because and it's like, so you can't go outside.
Yeah. And
And
God,
it's ridiculous.
I've heard ones where it's like people have jokingly like hummed a tune or been like, "Oh, you know that song?" And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, copyright strike." It's like, I just hummed the fucking tune to the song. Like what?
And then you've got stories like Mr. Herman Lee, who got temporarily banned. So Herman Lee is the guitarist for Dragon Force, got banned off of Twitch, and no one knows why he did, because Twitch doesn't tell you that, and like I think it's against terms of service to say why you were suspended.
Right.
But it's heavily, heavily rumored that, by which I mean like everyone fucking knows, is that he usually plays along to his own songs on stream. So he got banned off Twitch for playing along to one of his own songs, a song that he wrote and owns the copyright to.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of that of like people buying the rights to third-party music to use for like YouTube, and then still being copyright struck. It's like I paid the artist for use and have like actual
I've got
forms and
contracts with them while I
documents
do
and
this.
contracts in place so that I can use this, and I'm still getting copyright struck.
Now, even Kay's getting angry about it. I can hear him in the background. It's like, God damn it! Because I've actually done that. I've got a couple of original compositions made for the YouTube channel. So if anyone's seen the YouTube channel, you might hear like little ditties that are remixes of the Two Finger Johnny.
Yes.
Which itself is a copyright-free tune from Kevin MacLeod, like the legend, the hero that is. The savior of all small content creators online, Kevin MacLeod. It's a remix of Two Finger Johnny that I got a friend of mine to do, and then there's another guy who reached out to me during a stream. It was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. So we did like an 8-bit remix, and my friend did like a guitar solo along, like inspired by it.
Yes.
So I have that at like the start of some of my playthroughs. Is just like, oh yeah, it's different to like the Two Finger Johnny thing.
Yeah,
and I'm
yes,
glad
that's fine because like you're using something that's in the Creative Commons, like
yeah, it's an entirely original composition based on something that's already in Creative Commons.
Yeah,
and that can bring us all the way around to our mutual favorite person online, which is Mr. Richard EB.
Oh, okay.
Like, have we ever talked about this on the podcast?
A couple of
times. We talked about on streams. We mentioned it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Either way, I'll talk about it again because this dude can fuck off. Like, he's a guy who does like musical covers of video game tunes and then sends you a copyright notice if his music gets detected in your streams or YouTube videos, despite the fact his entire career is reliant on the fact that he is able to use other people's intellectual property.
Yeah, like he really enjoys fair use, but he doesn't like other people having fair use, Karl.
Yeah. And one day, I hope that the channel gets big enough where I can say something like that and I get an answer back from him.
Yeah, like you'll keep just saying it over and over again until Richard turns up like, hang on.
Yeah, I want to know because I need to know. Because no other, to my knowledge at least anyway, like person who does that on YouTube, which is a pretty common subgenre of just like metal video game covers or people playing music alongside video game covers. And I always assume they were all covered under fair use because obviously none of them get struck themselves. And I've never heard of any of those people who do that in turn copyrighting their own compositions because it's based on somebody else's work.
That's true.
I had no idea you could
we
even
haven't
do that.
tried anyone like Smooth McGroove, have we?
Wonder if he would.
Because
I'd argue he's a more original.
Or like
that's his voice, isn't it?
Yeah, and we haven't tried like ones like that, and then for the name, the guy that does like the parody lyrics.
Oh, Brental Floss. I'd argue that those two guys,
Floss.
they've got a better claim for that being like art in its own right that they can copyright because it's so transformative.
But again, it's still under fair use.
Yeah, but I'd argue like their things more than anything counts like original compositions, especially without adding like their own lyrics or you doing a cover in like using the medium of his own voice.
Yeah, like, but because I guess like Brental Floss would kind of be similar to someone like Weird Al, where it's like they can get away with using a similar, like the same melody, isn't it? Really, but then parodying the actual lyrics of it.
Yeah, parody is completely like above board and is something that your artists have absolutely no way to counteract. And the only reason Weird Al even asks artists is as a courtesy. And he's long had a like just a standing arrangement with the musical community of I will ask permission to parody any song, and if you don't give me permission, I won't do it.
Yeah, and that's probably why he doesn't get shit from people, because he's such a gentleman about it.
And then you have the famous story where he asked Prince like every year, could I parody one of your songs? And Prince always said no. There's a story from Weird Al where he's like, I was at an awards ceremony. It turns out that Prince was at the awards ceremony as well. And he was in my row. I got a telegram about an hour before I was set to arrive saying, do not even look in Prince's direction. And it's just, do not even look at Prince. He's like, fair enough, it's Prince, I won't.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's great.
and that's when you have the great story, I think it was Coolio, where he originally granted permission for him to do Amish Paradise, like a cover of Gangster's Paradise, obviously. Did I say obviously twice? I think I did. I've had too much coffee. And Coolio was really mad about it and was like, look, I don't like what you did to my song. That's an important song. That's got a really deep message. I don't like it being treated that way. And then anyway, he gave it to fucking Sonic. And put it in the Sonic movie.
That's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, oh, I've got artistic integrity until like Hollywood show up with their fucking paychecks. It's like, yep, take it for that fucking Sonic movie.
Like that movie, I hate it.
Yeah.
I just hate that it exists because it just gives Sonic fans more ammo. I'm not about that life, are you? I don't want Sonic fans to have just more ammo.
Like, I'm excited to see what like actual Tails is like, though. That's what I want to know. It's like, I want to see what, because the second movie is being made. Of course, Tails is going to be in it because it's the second one. Tails gets added, and I just want to see what that little fox looks like flying with its two tails, but set in a realistic world.
Yeah, they're gonna have to like just put some motion blur on that, so you can't like think about the logistics of it. But
because that is proper like Looney Tunes style, isn't it?
Yeah, and I really don't like the fact that they had the opportunity to like basically patch Sonic.
Yeah.
I wish that they didn't have time to fix Sonic. It's like deal with Cats, where they like fixed the CGI because it was so bad. I don't like that they're able to do that. I think like it's like when developers and stuff patch video games day one. It's like no, I want to see the level of quality you thought was acceptable to charge me full price for. You don't get to fix this and pretend it wasn't like this when it was like on the disc.
See, I respect though that like with the decision with the Sonic movie, where it was a case of, oh well, we've heard the feedback from the trailer, like we can take that and tell all these fuckers that don't know what they're doing, like no, Sonic should look like fucking Sonic, and then they actually delayed it to give people the time to actually, rather than ask us for money. Like Cats did, while it was still shocking, and Cats was shocking afterwards anyway, but at least they went, no, we'll sort it out and we'll fix it before we try to decide that, like, we deserve your money.
Yeah, my favorite thing about that is all the conspiracy theories where people are like, oh no, they made it bad on purpose to, like, get attention online. It's like, no, they didn't. They didn't because it's just Hollywood executives are that fucking clueless. And Sega is that fucking clueless about their own like intellectual property because they had is it Yuji Naka, the guy who invented Sonic? When he saw the trailer, his only response was, "What's this?"
Yeah,
like he was like, "This is not Sonic." And it's like, "Wait, did you not get asked to sign off on this?" He's like, "No." And then Sega released a statement saying, "Oh yeah, we were largely hands off in regards to the handling of Sonic." It's like this is your only valuable piece of intellectual property. Why did you not just have the most fingers in the pies?
Like you would have thought that after the fucking Super Mario Bros. Film, like no video game company would have given like Hollywood free reign with their rights anymore. Like,
I think they have though, haven't they?
But they have. But it's bizarre to me that no one looked at like what things like Toad just being a guy in a leather jacket and like Yoshi being that weird lizard thing and just going, yeah, that's okay. Like, we'll give him fine.
I counter that with the career of Uwe Boll. And let's just look. Do you like? So I'm pretty sure like the movies that he's made a Blood Rain movie. He's made a Far Cry movie.
Hill was it that he made as well?
No, it was House of the Dead.
House of the Dead.
You know his House of the Dead movie is bad because there's a scene in it where they're getting attacked by zombies and they're all shooting. He legit, I am not making this up, puts in a clip from the game in like he splices in like a 1 second shot of the game of zombies in the game, but the zombies in his movie are like real people in outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And then he splices in like the really shitty House of the Dead. It's like
a
reload, reload.
2000 era just fucking arcade game, and it's like that's not the
Yeah,
same.
and there's an amazing thing, like an amazing story about Uwe Boll where he asked Blizzard, "Could I have the rights?" Like when he sat doing all these, he approached them because those movies are bad, but they do make a profit because he makes them so cheaply and so badly with like such no-name fucking actors. Like the idea of how no-name the actors are. I think the guy in Far Cry is the guy who plays Hugo Stiglitz in. I think it is that guy from Inglorious Bastards. So like that is like the level of celebrity he's able to get in these movies.
Let's have a little look, shall we?
Yeah, and he approached Blizzard to ask them, "Could I have the rights to like it's World of Warcraft?" And they responded, and I quote, "We will not sell the rights, especially not to you." It's just, if anything sums up how fucking bad he is, it's like especially not to you.
Yeah, you're
Is
right.
it Hugo Stiglitz?
It
Yeah. That's the one who chat's saying it's Til Schweiger.
was. Okay, yeah.
And like speaking of like
I'm just gonna look up a couple of like
Uwe
the
Boll movies.
films that he's done. Yeah,
Oh, he also did the Postal movie.
I did. He was a producer on Postal.
He was a producer on Postal, yeah.
Yeah, he's mainly just he's just producing things. I thought he was like a director as well, but it looks like he's just producer.
Yeah, he's a producer because he has a production company where you can get a shit ton of tax breaks in Germany for filming there if you're a native German. So what he tells people is, look, I will make this movie. You can write off every penny you spend because it'll be a fucking tax break because I can apply for this like huge big tax break in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a bag of wank. We'll make it for like $500,000 and it'll make like $5 million in like DVD sales.
Yeah.
And all it's going to cost you is your creative integrity and your brand. It's like, well, who the fuck cares about House of the Dead anyway?
Yeah, I mean, House of the Dead. I think like fuck it, it's House of the Dead. Like it's a shitty
What story
arcade game.
like
Like,
that?
some people have a bit of a fun affinity for it, but it's not like you've got the rabid fan base that are really gonna care. But then you've got like Blood Rain, as you said, with Blood Rain Deliverance.
That's the thing, like Blood Rain, who gives a fuck about Blood Rain anymore? It's like he probably approached them and said, "Are you ever going to do anything with this IP ever again?" No. Do you want $5 million? Yeah, why not?
And then got Alone in the Dark and Alone in the Dark 2.
Yeah, he did that as well. And it's again like, when's the next time I'm going to see an Alone in the Dark movie?
They did try to they made an Alone in the Dark movie game. I mean, like what? Maybe around 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, do you know what we could do right now? Because I'm curious about this because I know like there's going to be some that we've forgotten. Let's look up a list of do you got PC footy now?
I've got the list up.
I mean, a list of video game movies specifically.
Oh, of video game movies.
Yeah, a list of movies based on video games. And before we look at it, we're going to see how many we can name because there's more than you'd expect.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch, and it's like the career of Uwe Boll just like speaks to like the level of quality like video game companies are happy to have for their intellectual properties. Like they just do not give a fuck. And like those movies are god awful, but at the same time, you've almost got to respect the level of fuck it.
I mean, I guess, but like, there's some where you can see potential. Like, for example, the Tomb Raider movie. There's like, you know what? Great. It's an Indiana Jones film. That's basically fine. Yeah. That's fine.
It's Indiana Jones with a woman, and I love those movies because Angelina Jolie had to wear a fake bra.
Oh, really?
Because they told her, like Wonder Bra to increase the cup size. Because they told her and they sat her down and said, "Look, the size of Lara Croft's breasts are so important to her character. You need to wear this." And she's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll wear it then."
It's really unfortunate that they are probably right back in the day.
Yeah, and then they had the Alicia Vikander one, didn't they, where they tried to base it on like new, younger Lara.
Yeah.
And
actually proportioned Lara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like more about the ponytail than it is about her breasts. And that's a hell of an arc, isn't it? Where Lara Croft went from being a character defined by her breasts to her ponytail to the point where they were adding in a physics engine that made or custom like tweaked for her ponytail.
Yeah, when they had like the PC version and the like the remastered version, it's like, look at the hair physics on
No,
ultra
not the hair
settings. Like,
physics, just the ponytail. It was
the
all about the
ponytail specifically,
ponytail.
was it? Yeah.
And she had all like this special animations of like wringing it out when she got out of water.
Okay.
And like speedrunners turn it off to maximize frame rate, and
Of
just all you have is
course.
like the propeller on the back of her head.
It's like, have you seen, to just to like spin off 1 second?
Mhm.
The FIFA update where they like gave some people really good hair, but only like a few select superstars. So
Oh,
a
because
couple
they're
of
on the
people have
TikTok.
got really good like strand hair physics where loads of individual hairs flopping about Messi's head. Then other people have just got the block on the head still, and it's like, oh no.
That's amazing. Like, I wonder what happens when Messi gets the call of like he's there, sat by his phone, like, we've done it. We've got the hair physics fixed on your FIFA character. And he's like, yes, this is finally. I get paid £1 million a week, but this is something I care about.
And the weird thing is, they probably do.
Well, they do, yeah. I think we talked before about on either on the channel or the podcast where EA they can't tell people who's the guy, like the person who does all the stats for players,
Oh yeah,
and the team that does it, they have to keep them secret. And when they have events and things like, so a lot of the sports stars come to these events, they are not allowed to know who it is who does the stats because the sports stars will go over and bitch at them, saying my
well,
stats aren't high
my
enough.
shot accuracy stat isn't high enough, sir. It's like, well,
Yeah, and it's based on your performance in games, so do better.
yeah,
And it's like everyone always insists that they are better than the stats say.
of course, of course. I just thought I'd mention that, but let's talk about these like video game movies, Karl.
Okay, so you've got a list in front of you now, yes. Is this like just movies based on video games? And I'm guessing, what's the word now? Chronological order from like earliest one made to the latest one made?
I don't have the list up because I thought you said you were gonna get it, but I'll grab
Okay,
them now.
would you rather I get it and go through
I've
it, or
got
would you
the
rather you get it?
Wikipedia list of films based on video games here.
Okay, so do you want to go through this then? Let's see.
So what I'm assuming you probably want to do the same is live action ones.
Yes, specifically like, except for the only exception I'll make is the Resident Evil ones.
'Cause it has like them separated, so it has like the animated ones,
Yeah.
Japanese animated. That'll be it.
Yeah, so let's just specifically go for live action movies based on video games then. And is the earliest one the Mario one?
So on here, release date May 28th, 1993, Super Mario Bros. Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good start, is it? It's that is far from an auspicious start to this subgenre.
But worldwide box office nearly 39 million.
On a budget of
It doesn't actually have the budget, but that will be profit.
presumably, yeah. And the only other thing I know about Super Mario Bros.
Mhm.
I know that movie was so bad that Nintendo basically said we will never sell the rights to one of our characters again unless we can do it all in house, which is why they're working with is it Illumination?
Yeah,
The guys
Illumination on the Mario movie.
who make Despicable Me because they want to like basically control it all in house. There was a porno parody of Super Mario Bros. Starring Ron Jeremy, which was made because Ron Jeremy kept getting called Super Mario because he's like a short. He's not. I don't think he's Italian, but he does look like Mario a little bit because he's short and squat with a hairy chest and a big mustache. And
Right.
Nintendo bought the rights to that exclusively to bury it, just so it never saw the light of day.
And quickly, just want to refer to my chat. Just to let people know, like if you've missed it, we're not doing Q&A the way we've been doing it recently.
Oh yeah, it'll be in a separate special podcast, I guess.
So yeah, we're going to be doing like separate Q&A podcasts where we like collate all the questions we want to look at and just go through them all in one whole podcast. But you can email any questions you want to karlscornerqa@gmail.com.
Yeah, has there only been any emails filtering through to that yet?
There's been a few that I've seen so far, yeah, but I haven't
We've not made
gone
like an
through
announcement.
and done anything with it yet.
See, we've not made an announcement on like social media or anything. Is Lucas a bit quiet? We can turn him up now. There we go.
But yes, like so, Ezekiel in chat, like we won't be doing like questions at the end of this one, but if you like want to just like you can send it to either like my Discord or that channel or the email, sorry, and we'll sort it out.
Easy enough. So, what comes after Super Mario Bros? Because I'm gonna guess it poisoned that idea for at least a couple of years.
Actually, two in 1994. We've got Double Dragon, which was just a flop.
Oh God, yeah, they did make a Double Dragon movie.
They did.
Oh God, why was Double Dragon ever that big?
I think Double Dragon was relatively big, yeah.
Because I was gonna say the next one surely is the Street Fighter movie. That was like
the
1996.
next two are Street Fighter and then Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, because it was Street Fighter in 1996 and then Mortal Kombat 1997.
No, Mortal Kombat was 95 straight after. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is 97.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as well that's where they peaked for me.
Mm.
Those three movies just captured the camp quality of video games.
Yeah,
like where video games.
They were like just great in the sense that they were really bad and cheesy and awful, but they kind of knew what they were.
Yeah, like they knew that. Why are people watching this? Because they like the video games. So what do they want? They want fucking video game references.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we're going to make it realistic, to the detriment of the movie in some cases, but we will put in all those dumb references people want.
Yeah.
For example, the Street Fighter movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme did do a fucking flash kick. He did do Guile's flash kick. He did not do a fucking sonic boom.
No.
Because they couldn't do that, could they? But he did do a fucking flash kick.
But man, I would have loved it if, similar to how they had the real actors for like Mortal Kombat and then Street Fighter the movie, the game, they did that weird motion capture style. I would have loved it if the CG was just the animations from the game. So like the Sonic Boom was just like the little 16-bit Sonic Boom going across the movie screen, like
do the Uwe bomb. Well, that's the thing for the Mortal Kombat one. They did, at the very least, use the sound clip. They did use the original "Get Over Here" sound clip from the game.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the original, but they did get Ed Boon to do that.
They did the same.
If people don't know, Ed Boon is the voice of Scorpion, but only for the "Get Over Here," and he still does it in every game. Every time they make a new Mortal Kombat, they bring him back into the studio to do it again. Mm-hmm. And the story is that they mix that with the older ones.
Okay.
So the original one, and what they do is they play it randomly, where the older one is like a less likely to play one, and there's the newer one. And then they give like the actual voice actor a couple of lines to say as well. So it's like same with like Toasty. So the guy's like, Toasty!
Do they still put that in the game? Because I've not really played much of 10 or 11.
Toasty is still in the game, to my knowledge.
Yes,
it's very rare to get, and I don't think it's in 11 because 11's a lot more like serious. But it was in 9. And
I knew it was in 9 because I got it a few times, but I didn't play 10 or 11 enough. But they seemed like, as you say, a little bit more serious.
Yeah, but I would love if they never put that in the movie though. They should have done.
They should have done.
They 100% should have put in the fucking Toasty when someone landed an uppercut. And those movies are just fantastic because, like, that one, they have all the characters you want in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, as well, you get that actor who played Johnny Cage just gnawing on the scenery in every fucking scene he's in. And like as well, he's the best character in it because all of his lines are now like his performance inform the characterization of Johnny Cage.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird things of going the full back way around, isn't it? Of just, okay, the movies are now influencing the video games.
Yeah, because and so you had that to a degree with the Street Fighter movie, where it was the line of, "Oh, for you, the day Bison visited your village was the most important day of your life. For me, it was just a Tuesday," or something like that. And that's been put into Street Fighter 4, I think. If Bison wins, he'll just sometimes have a rare chance to say, for you, this was a tough battle. For me, it was just a Tuesday," or something like that. And that, to me, is fucking brilliant, because the Mortal Kombat one is, the other line of those are $500 sunglasses, asshole.
Oh, yeah.
That line, for Mortal Kombat 10, when they added Goro to the game, Goro had a grand total of 2 unique interactions for every other character, with the exception of Johnny Cage, who they added a third extra one where he talks about his sunglasses. It's like, it's good when they put in extra lines in.
Oh, God, that is good, yeah.
I'd say that's where video game movies peaked. Because as bad as they were, you can watch, you know what they are, and they know what they are as well.
So I'm having a little look down this list and like, spoiling myself on the thing, and I'm just like,
Any stick out to you as like
I'm
ones that like you just can't believe they got made and just like completely flew under your radar? Because I think
um
just after Annihilation, because I know Annihilation was bad, but at least Annihilation had all the characters in it. I remember
yeah.
it as being the one that had just had everybody in, like Motaro's in that. Got Sector and Cyrax, and they have the bit where they play like techno when Cyrax comes in.
God, yeah.
Like they
I
have
think
like
I've
the
only
fucking.
seen like Annihilation once, but man, that's a movie.
Wait, where is it? One sec. So, audio listeners, this is bad for you. One sec.
I was going for it. Oh god, the list just longer than I thought. Man. Oh, Carl's bringing
I
out
actually
Mortal
have
Kombat
it. It's on my shelf
Annihilation
behind me. I
right
have it.
behind him.
Yeah, because it's one of those films that I want us to do a watch through for when we're all back at the office to record
Ah,
a commentary track for. So this is the Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I've actually got it. It's the DVD right here, and it says on the front the sequel to the box office smash because the first one made a lot of money.
yeah. So the first one, it says here made $124.7 million.
It made a lot of money.
The second one only made like $51.
Yeah,
So
it did not do well. And then there's like a load of shit behind the scenes. Like a couple of the actors did come back, and then they get killed off in like the first 30 seconds because there was like a money dispute because they made so much money on the first one. But I'll read it here. So, a non-stop edge of your seat thriller. They're back and they're not playing games. Mortal Kombat Annihilation begins in every way where the blockbuster adventure of Mortal Kombat left off. This time, though, with more spectacular fight sequences, more astonishing special effects, and the whole world as an arena for battle. A band of fearless fighters have defeated the evil warlords of Outworld, but Shao Kahn, the feared Emperor of Outworld, breaks the sacred rules of Mortal Kombat and arrives on Earth with his extermination squads to conquer and eliminate anything that stands in his way.
Shao
And they
Kahn,
even had Shiva in it, and they got the actress and they gave like the extra arm.
man.
And it's fucking great. And I know it's bad and I know it sucks, but at the same time, I just love that they play the song.
Yeah, and it's one of those as well. Like, it's so bad that it is like good in just a silly, campy way of like,
It is an amazing film to watch with a couple of
yeah.
drinks and just get hype every time. Oh, Reptile turns up and he's a dumb CGI reptile.
It's like, for example, there is like Wing Commander after that, but then Lara Croft Tomb Raider, which we mentioned,
Oh
then
wait, so
Resident
that's like
Evil. And
that's where the decline.
yeah, that's where they're not great quality, but they also
They,
take themselves super seriously at the
and they
same time.
did make a bit of money. And I feel like a lot of those movies were released not to capitalize on the success of any particular game, just the nascent popularity of video games as a whole.
Well,
I
I'm
feel.
looking here, and so Lara Croft Tomb Raider comes out in 2001 and makes $274.73 million.
Yeah, it was really successful. It's also as well really popular. I think it's Indonesia, maybe I want
Okay,
to say. Oh, it was filmed on location in Indonesia, I think. And there's a bar that's there where they still serve the Lara Croft cocktail,
oh
and
yeah,
it's the drink that Angelina Jolie would have when she wasn't filming there. Maybe it was Burma. I'm not sure.
maybe, I'm not sure.
I
I'll find
apologize
it.
for not knowing where Tomb Raider was filmed.
But
It's a
the
bit of trivia I
next
don't have watched
movie
it.
to like go above that is a couple of like dozen movies later, and it's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. So it took 9 years for Lara Croft Tomb Raider to not be like the highest earning video
Protein.
game movie.
And who the fuck remembers the Prince of Persia one? The only thing I remember about that is it's Jake Gyllenhaal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember. It's Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's a really boring shit movie.
Also, yeah, they got Jake Gyllenhaal. Is it Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal? Either way, they got
I
him
always say Gyllenhaal, but I'm not sure.
to play the Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Persia. It's kind of in the name, isn't it?
He is definitely not Persian, as last time I remember.
Right? Just that he is the pastiest of white dudes, apparently.
Yeah.
And what movies were in between there? Is it just all the Resident Evil movies?
It's
I know
not just Resident Evil movies, and I will clarify for people who wanting to know / correct us. It says here, the Tar Prom Temple located in Angkor, Cambodia.
Cambodia, that was it. Sorry,
So that's Lara Croft Tomb Raider, Cambodia.
because it was
But
one of the first movies to be filmed there ever.
some notable ones between Lara Croft and all the way down to Sands of Time are like Resident Evil, multiple of them. You got
I
like
can't believe they got made. Like the
the
first one was okay,
Cradle
wasn't
of
it?
Life.
Which was again all right. It's just an Indiana Jones movie at that point. I'm not sure why they don't just make Indiana Jones movies and put the Lara Croft thing on them.
Yeah, and we
So
got
the thing is, she fights like yetis and shit in those games. Like, do you know what they
Well,
should have done? They
like-
should have been a cross between Indiana Jones and the Mummy movies.
yeah, where it's a bit
They
more
should have
like
had that
supernatural.
tone.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they should have had like that comedic tone.
yeah, for sure. And it's weird to me that they go for the weird, like they do make it very strange in sense of the gimmick is like the weird time travel dagger machine, but then it's very just we are fighting other humans, very plain and gunfighty, and it's like, where's the T-Rexes?
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like they would have absolutely nailed the tone if they would have just struck a balance between Indiana Jones, which itself doesn't take itself too seriously, and those mummy movies in regards to like the action.
Yeah.
The campy, flamboyant action, like a like throwback to an adventure movie or something like
Because
that.
I feel like they went in the end more for Indiana Jones meets James Bond.
And I guess that makes sense. But Lara Croft isn't James Bond.
No,
She's an adventurer. She's not like a spy.
but I
But
feel
she
like
is
they definitely
British.
went more down that kind of route of like very Pierce Brosnan esque.
Yeah, and you know the only
James
reason they
Bond.
did that is because Lara Croft's British.
Mm-hmm.
She's British, so she must be like, posh and prim and proper, which she is in the games. But at the same time, she does have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like she shoots a fucking butler with like dual Berettas.
Or just puts him in a freezer.
Yeah. I kind of wish they'd had like a nod to that because that's the kind of thing they'd have had in a movie that took itself less seriously. They would have had like a scene of a butler being repairing the fridge or something like that, saying, "I nearly got trapped in there last time," and then all the people at home like us would have gone, "Oh, do you know why they did that? Yeah, we know why they did that. We know why they did it."
Oh god, this is great because this shows like Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic score.
Great, okay.
And at one point, there's a movie here, like a few movies after Resident Evil and Tomb Raider, and it got 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. Can you guess which one?
It would have been one of Uwe Boll's.
It is.
Was it Blood Rain?
Yeah. No, it's Alone in the Dark.
Oh, okay. Because I know he had like Blood Rain was really poorly received, and so was that one.
So Blood Rain 4%, House of the Dead 3%.
Yeah, like the fucking trifecta. Those movies are god awful. They're not even funny bad. Like, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, at least it's bad. Like, at least it has like characters that you like in it. Who the fuck do you remember from like Alone in the Dark? Name one character from Alone in the Dark. Exactly.
I don't even know the name of the main character in that.
Dark.
It's
Dark Man. No, that's
like Ethan or some shit. I don't know if that's like in the new one or the reboot one. Honestly, I don't know and I don't care because it's Alone in the Dark.
It's the thing as well. The House of the Dead one could have worked because obviously they could have aped Resident Evil and just done a Resident Evil ripoff.
And
It might be a more faithful Resident Evil homage if they'd have not put all the bullshit in with like Alice.
they could have as well done something similar to what another movie did, Doom.
Cheers. Oh, is that the Karl Urban one or the newer one that came out but they didn't tell anyone? Did you hear about that?
Wait, what?
There was another Doom movie that was so bad they didn't tell anyone it was coming out. And they didn't tell the actors, and the actors were like posting on social media, like, "Look, I'm in the Doom movie." It's just rats like, "Wait, there's a Doom movie?" Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought it was just one Doom movie.
There's a second Doom movie that came out, but it's only on like I think exclusive like Redbox or something like that. It was straight to DVD, but it was straight to like a streaming, so it's real fucking bad.
No, this is the Karl Urban one, and I was going to mention like that one good scene where they do the first person.
Yeah, that should have been the whole movie.
Yeah, yeah. Totally.
Do you know what a Doom movie should be? A Doom movie should be Hardcore Henry. Have you seen Hardcore Henry? It's entirely in first person, and it's like the guy doing parkour.
No, I've not seen that.
Okay, well, basically, it's just a guy doing parkour in front, and it was based on a short where it was just like a dude. You've probably seen the shorts that got Shalto Copley in it from District 9, where he's playing like a World War II soldier, and they're like going through a burned out building.
I don't recognize it from you talking about it, but I might have seen it in the past.
But it's just like, and the idea is it's only first person, so there's like all the cool stunts.
Yeah.
And you have like the guy doing backflips through buildings and things like that. It's like that's what a Doom movie should be. It should be a 2 hour, and he's a completely silent protagonist as well.
Hmm.
That's what it
Yeah.
should be. It should be 2 hours of just you in the helmet of the Doom guy. Do you know, like in the 2016 game where he just wakes up on a slab and then people tell the story at him? That's what a Doom movie should be. But Hollywood doesn't have the balls to make something that interesting.
Speaking of not interesting, there's a lot of not interesting in the middle of it.
Okay, go on. Name some of the movies that are just not interesting.
So I'll just reel off some. There's like the UA Bowl ones that we've mentioned, and then you've got
Oh,
like Hitman. You got In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale.
I will say the first Hitman movie is kind of good just because the guy who plays Hitman is like, I had no fucking clue it was him. And have you seen Santa Clarita Diet?
Is it that guy? Is it the
It's
husband?
that guy. It's the husband from Santa Clarita Diet.
What?
Yes, that's why I was like, and someone told me, I went, no, it's not. It was just some bald dude. Holy fuck, it is him.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant. God
It was
damn it.
Man. Yeah, and I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
Exactly. That means like what a good actor he is. That's made me realize how
I
good
really
he
enjoy
is.
that actor. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea like he was low key one of my favorite actors alongside Karl Urban. Because when I broke down like all the roles Karl Urban's had, because he's just chameleonic in that way, where he's a good looking dude,
Yes.
and he's a charismatic, but he's never the leading man. So that allows him to like kind of blend into it, become his character a bit more.
Yeah.
So he's been in so many movies that I love him in, and I just never realized.
Yeah, and then you break down, and especially as well because a lot of them are like nerdy geek culture kind of movies. Like he's in Lord of the Rings, he's in Dread, and obviously like most notably now The Boys. But yeah, like I remember going through all the stuff that he's in. God damn, I
like
really like Karl Urban, and I never knew.
He's just in so much stuff that I like.
Yeah, and like he's awesome in Thor Ragnarok as well. And, like,
yeah. But like, I need to mention the Hitman Agent 47 movie because that's where a friend of mine drinks whiskey because of that movie.
Okay.
Because there's a line in that thing where Hitman gets served a drink. It's either Hitman gets served a drink or someone serves him a drink. And he asks for like a whiskey with 3 ice cubes, and someone just looks at him and goes, some people would shoot you for doing that to a whiskey that nice. And he just looks at them and goes. So people at home did see, he just looks at them and then just stares back. It's like, the fuck are you going to threaten the Hitman for? Is he going to fall for that?
Oh god, but yeah, that's Hitman Agent 47, which was like the bad one, wasn't it?
But you do have, again, it's kind of campy, where they have a moment where like they're all holding each other up with guns. Like there's 4 hitmen all pointing guns at each other, and they look and they go, "Should we do this?" And they all nod and they all put their guns down and pull out katanas. It's like, why do they do this? And it's so shit. Because it's so lame, but the idea they all they're all huge weebs who just pull out katanas and start fighting with them.
Oh my fuck!
And that's the kind of tone you need for a video game movie. It's like video games generally don't take themselves seriously, especially one like the Hitman series. Like you can kill people with a fucking lobster.
But I would love a film where it's about like Agent 47 getting dressed in like the most ridiculous outfits.
Exactly, yeah, that'd
going
be great.
around slapping people with bananas and like killing people with banana peels. And
because in my head as well, I can imagine like the perfect opening scene for that, where it'd be like a Final Destination movie, like where you have all the setup of like, and you see him doing all these really seemingly random things. So this is what I think in my head, like opening scene for the theoretical like Hitman Agent 47 movie. Like this is free for you, Hollywood. It's like set up, and you just see a guy, like Agent 47, you see his shadow, like the bald head, the suit, just setting up various contraptions and seemingly like tinkering things that don't make sense. A group of men walk into a building and just all these accidents just befall them. They all just like a Final Destination movie, and then the next day, just there's a newspaper headline like 5 die in tragic accident. And he's there like, okay, yeah, and then you just see money getting wired into his account.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, like, if Agent 47 is doing his job correct, nobody knows he's ever there.
Exactly, yeah. And so I want to say I've seen both of them because I watched them both on planes. And like he is just firing guns wildly. He's like John Wick.
Yeah.
Like, where he's fighting in the middle of like public square. So like a Hitman movie, you should never see him firing a gun.
It's also like John Wick, but without the good choreography or generation as well.
It's like a Hitman movie should never have Hitman firing his gun. Ever.
But Karl, it's like, what do they call like the silver balls or whatever?
That's the thing, like if you failed at playing the game, if you pull your gun out in a Hitman game, you failed.
Yeah, if
You're
anyone
not
ever
playing the game
notices you're
properly.
there, you fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
in my head, that's always like the only way you can play a level. Like, you've got to go through that level without anyone knowing you're there. And if you like, you get to the end, it's like you got noticed. It's like, well, we retry that level then.
I will always remember though when my friend played through, me and him played through Blood Money, and I'll just never forget the final mission is go to the White House and assassinate somebody. And I was like, how the fuck are you gonna do this? Because you can pick your loadout into a mission, and he picked like a shotgun, like a fully like leveled up like silver baller pistol that looks like a fucking toy from like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very first thing you have is you walk out, you're on a bus, part of a tour, and you just see a metal detector. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get past this one, knobhead. And he walked around the corner and just threw his guns over the fence. There's just something about Agent 47 just throwing guns over the White House fence, walking around through security and just picking them back up. And it's
Like, just that image in my head of just like, so what are you doing? And he's just launching this like gun over the fence. Nothing, mate. Don't worry. All right.
He went up and picked it up. And I was howling. And then he did another one where that had the system where the more you got like was spotted, they started to like put up portraits. Like that newspaper system they had where it's like the more notoriety you had, the more they got an image of who you are. Eventually it gets to the point where people will just open fire on you second one. Because they just have a little, if you get caught on CCTV, that CCTV picture just on newspapers. And he's
literally a bald man in a suit with a barcode on the back of his head. He's quite identifiable.
That's the thing, though. If you're playing the game properly, no one's going to see you. But like, I remember, like he had full notoriety when he tried to do that mission, like later, in like our play session. And the second he walked off the bus, just someone looked at him and went, "Is that bald psycho?" And then just 30 people opened fire on him. And he's just like, I remember that one because he pulled out like a nail gun because that's the weapon he equipped, and he just went through the nail gun. Just like that is a fucking guy you're gonna remember. But Lucas, I'm just gonna go for a quick bathroom break because fucking hell, like that laugh when I did that belly laugh just sent my coffee right through me. So give me 1 second.
Okay, so I'll just go to my break screen for 1 minute. So I'll keep an eye for when you're back. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, so I apologize for that, but just that belly laugh made me go, "Oh, that coffee went right fucking through me," and just. Yeah, I will never forget though just the look on my friend's face when he just had that smile of, "Oh, I know how to figure this out," and just hurling a fucking gun over the fence to the White House and just walking in.
And just that's the reason that those games were good.
And that's why they should have that in the movie.
I would love just more improvisational shit in that movie.
It's not even the improvise. It's just they need to start having fun with them. And like, if the game itself is silly, it's like fair enough, like a Last of Us movie. Or Last of Us TV show, I guess. Like that's what they're making, isn't it? I don't want that to be campy and silly because the tone of the game isn't that. But a Hitman movie, fucking lean into it. So what's the next one we have in our list of bad video game movie adaptations? That's the thing, even though it's a list of video game movie adaptations, I know that it's going to be bad because they're all bad.
Well, there's one that we actually spoke about recently. It's Max Payne.
Okay. We talked about that?
We did talk about Max Payne, didn't we?
I don't remember ever talking about Max Payne because Max Payne the movie sucks.
No, yeah, I'm thinking of the old Punisher film. That's what we talked about, isn't it?
Punisher one's alright. That's based on comic book.
Yeah, that's not Max Payne. I'm getting them mixed up in my head.
Like, the Max Payne one is fucking awful, and I don't even remember watching it. But
I don't actually remember watching that, looking at it now. But yeah, we can quickly move on to another thing I've never fucking watched. Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
Apparently that was all right.
Was it?
Like, people talk about it being okay, but like it's the same. Then again, people also talk about like that Mortal Kombat web series. People talk about that being really good, and it's like, no, it's not. It doesn't have any fucking budget, and like the actors have no charisma whatsoever. So then they had like an online series like Ryu and Ken, which was really bad because they don't look anything like the characters.
And I just went to click on The Legend of Chun-Li, and it's like, oh, I recognise a couple of the faces on the thing, and it's like, oh yeah, it's got like Neil McDonough, Chris Klein, Michael Clark Duncan, and also Black Eyed Peas member Taboo as Vega. And I was like, wait, what?
Well, the thing is, Vega wears a mask. Like that's the kind of thing where you get like the Brad Pitt cameo in Deadpool.
Oh, the Invisible Man, yeah.
Yeah, they should have put that. Like Vega should be a cameo from like a celebrity.
I can't believe it's like, oh yeah, we got the Black Eyed Peas member to be Vega. It's like, okay, sure.
I love Vega as well. Like, he was like my main just because like the warrior, like that, all that bullshit that he did. I loved it.
Well, he's the only character that you look at somebody playing well and go, this man's like grabbing onto the sidewalls and like flying across the screen. What's going on?
Nobody beats Vega. But yeah, have got any more movies? Like what period are we in now? That's like time wise.
Okay, so time wise, we're just getting into 2010.
Okay, so what starts in New
2010, the first movie is Tekken.
I have that. That's
do
on my
you?
shelf. I have that Tekken movie behind me.
I forgot that a Tekken movie even came out.
And do you know why it's bad?
No.
It's bad because they tried to give the main guy playing Heihachi's hair, but they didn't commit. Like they give him like a little bit of like the fluff on the sides, but they don't fully commit to it because there's no way you can get an actor to have that haircut.
Is it like the first X-Men with Wolverine?
Yeah,
where he has a little bit of the Wolverine hair.
But not enough.
Yeah.
And I want you to double check something for me. Can you click that movie and look at the cast?
Can.
Because I think the one saving grace of that movie, can you just scroll down and who is it who plays Eddie Gordo?
Eddie Gordo. Find the name.
I want to double check.
Lateef Crowder?
That's it, yeah, because Lateef Crowder, if you want to click on that guy, if you can see a picture of his face,
yeah,
you'll see that he looks exactly like Eddie Gordo. And that's because Eddie Gordo, the character, was based on him.
Oh, really?
So that, I think, is pretty cool. That
yeah,
the guy
it says he's like an actor, stuntman, and martial artist.
Yeah, he was also as well the guy who did the motion capture for Eddie Gordo in Tekken 3.
That's so cool.
So he did the motion capture for it, so they based Eddie Gordo's look on him when he was doing the motion capture.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did a movie, and I think that's just a really neat connection between them.
That is cool, yeah. Oh god,
so
I'm just kind of worried.
Also, just sorry, there's a guy in my chat who's like, "Is this a Zoom call?" We're recording the podcast live. It's just we don't want to refer to chat too often.
Yeah, like people don't often refer to chat that often in a podcast.
Yeah, it's just nice if people want to hear this live. Plus, we can refer to it, as and when it becomes relevant. Like earlier, someone just helped us with the name of an actor and the name of a movie.
Yeah. But generally speaking, if we want to keep a podcast with a steady flow, you don't often refer to chat or anything.
Yeah.
Kind of just how it works.
Dude, calm down. And that's the one saving grace of that movie. And Yoshimitsu's in it, and he looks fucking awful.
I was just wondering what King looks like.
I don't think he's in it.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Because that's the thing as well. They play the movie too seriously, and if they want to put, and that you shouldn't do it with Tekken. Tekken is a series where a man throws his son into a volcano because he's not strong enough to challenge him yet, and he's got to crawl back up.
Then the son comes back in the next game to throw his dad into the volcano.
Did you play the story mode of Tekken 7?
No, not of 7. I don't even think I've really played 7.
Right, well, it's really bad except for one bit, and it is that you've got to fight Heihachi as child Kazuya. And obviously it doesn't work because Heihachi just fucking wrecks you, and then you play Heihachi and you've got to press the grab button, the throw button to throw him off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So you throw Kazuya off the edge.
God damn.
And you have a great moment. Where you do a 10-hit combo as baby Kazuya, and Heihachi just armors through it. And then at the end of the game, you do it again, and this time you break Heihachi's armor and throw him into the fucking volcano. And then he comes back and fights Akuma, and it's great.
Wait, you fight Akuma?
Yeah, Akuma turns up. No, sorry, Akuma turns up and fights Kazuya.
Akuma is in from Street Fighter.
Yeah, Akuma's in that game, remember? And Akuma rocks up and just fights Kazuya in a volcano.
I thought it was just a DLC where he's not in the story or anything.
He's the main character in the story. It turns out that Akuma knew Heihachi's wife.
What?
And she turns up to fight him.
I thought that was guest characters where they're not included in story mode or anything.
He's in the story mode, yeah. Because they're both owned. Bandai Namco, they had him.
Yeah.
So and it's just really, really funny when you play that game. And they have stuff because obviously Heihachi owns a company, and so Kazuya owns the G Corporation, and they have footage of him turning into a devil on the news. And they're yeah, and they have it's a little shot of a headline that says Kazuya Mishima, a demon, ? And he's just in the news. It's on the stock checker. It's great.
That's the thing, yeah. Like, it's really hard to take a game seriously where they've got devil people in it and angel people and shit, and like,
And they took the movie way too seriously. Yeah.
yeah, and they've got Yoshimitsu and King as characters, and you just fight a straight up bear. Like, one of the fighters is just bear.
And that's what that movie should have been.
Yeah.
If you want to do like make it fucking dumb.
And it's hard to make any fighting game movie serious.
That's the problem as well, where you couldn't really do it justice because like a lot of those, like the Street Fighter movie, they tried. The Mortal Kombat movie is probably the most realistic, the one that you'd have the best chance of making using live action because like the special moves and stuff aren't that crazy. Like they are, so you freeze a man, but that's something you can like you as an effect you can achieve. But when you've got like Mortal Kombat, no sorry, when you've got Street Fighter and they're throwing like Hadoukens, it's really hard to ground something like that.
Like, what is that? Is that like a ball of fire? Like, what are you animating there?
It's hard to marry those two things together. Same with like Tekken, where you can get the people who do the moves. Like they got in the guy who did the motion capture for Eddie Gordo, but you couldn't bring in someone and stood there dressed as King and take that character seriously.
Well, it's like when they did like live action Dragon Ball movie that was awful.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you effectively show ki blasts when they're meant to be just, you know, planet-sized blasts across the fucking screen of like
pure concussive force.
Yeah, but instead it's got to be like the
and it's just it's not great, is it? And what we've got next, Luke? What's like we're in the 2010s now. We're nearing the home stretch.
So after that is Sands of Time. Then we've got Resident Evil Afterlife and Retribution. This thing starts slowing down now.
Yeah, those CGI movies are actually all right, and I watched the latest one yesterday. Netflix now has them all.
Afterlife and Retribution are 2 live action ones.
Are they?
Yeah. Are you thinking of the ones where it's like Degeneration?
That's it, yeah, Degeneration. So Afterlife and Retribution. I must have just forgotten what the live action ones were called.
Yeah, because there's like Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution.
Then the final chapter, which spoilers ends with the main character saying, "This is not the end of my story." It's like fuck. Like those movies could have been all right if they'd have focused on anybody but the OC.
Yeah.
Like if they'd have just been like Jill Valentine or Chris Redfield or anyone who's like, a memorable character from the series, they would have been fine. But with the fact that it is just, I think, is it Wes Anderson who directs them, and it's just his fucking wife.
And I think we've mentioned this before, but fair play to the guy.
Yeah, married his own OC.
He married his wife and then just went, I'm gonna make her the main character in every film and make her as badass as possible.
And all the movies are terrible.
Fair. But he's given it a good shot. Like, he did the exact same with the Monster Hunter movie, obviously.
And that went terribly. They pissed off China. And you never do that. But yeah, those Degeneration movies are all right because they nail what Resident Evil is or became. Mm-hmm. And like all like the almost pornographic attention to detail on like the weaponry.
Oh yeah.
In like RE4. And you have like the super extensive customization and like the reload stuff. They have that in the latest movie, in the CGI movies, and they have a scene in I want to say, I think it's I don't know what it's called now, but it's like the latest CGI one, and like the one that's not this is the new one coming out this year. So I watched in anticipation of that, and they have like a fight scene where it's Chris Redfield just doing tactical reload combos on a room full of zombies. And you have him like do the thing of like, oh, this is what like a special forces soldier who's trained his life would look like in a fight with zombies. And he has like a knife on the end of his gun and he stabs a zombie with it. And then he like pulls out a pistol, shoots 3 more zombies, reloads his gun while it's still stuck in the zombie. And he's like rolling around on the floor, like headshotting everything. And then, and this is my favorite bit, is like you hear like an elevator ding. You're like, oh, who's that? And Leon turns up on a motorbike underground on his motorbike. And it's like, this is so dumb. I love it.
Yeah, I just checked. Like the Resident Evil ones are like Degeneration, Damnation, and Vendetta.
There we go. Yeah, Vendetta, because that's the one where just Leon Kennedy throws a bike at someone.
But that's what someone like Leon Kennedy should be doing.
Yeah, and it'd be really difficult. And they tried to do that. I would say it'd be difficult to do in real live action. They did do that in live action, and it sucked. Because they had Alice do it, where she like kicks the bike at the dog, and it looks awful.
But I suppose like then instead of doing it with CG in the CG world, you're doing it like probably like poorly with wires or CG.
They also did it entirely in slow motion, so it looked bad.
Yeah, because I remember they got the like Resident Evil 5 executioner guy to do the really slow mo throw of the axe, where like the camera moves around the axe, and just like you could have just had this big dude throw a giant axe at someone, but no.
They put everything in slow motion
Yeah.
because like they thought slow motion looked cool, but it just made the movies age poorly. And just they have so many fun moments in that. Like, they have Chris having a shootout with somebody at point blank range. So he's at point blank range with his gun in their face, but the guy's like using like he's infected with something, so he's dodging it all. And they just have like, and it zooms out and like it shows you like all super close up, and, like shows you all the hand to hand motions of them, like dropping the gun, picking like the Winter Soldier fight.
Yeah,
they have all that, but then they zoom out and show you what it looks like, and it's just them running in a circle, firing a gun at each other at point blank range. And then they have like another one where I think like Ada Wong's in it, and she fist fights like the Prime Minister of Made-Upistan. I think it's literally called like the Slav Republic, and she's just like a lady in a suit. It's like Russian Hillary Clinton. And Ada Wong tries to shoot her, and then this lady kicks the shit out of her. It's like, oh, I guess it's true what you say, that you did used to train your soldiers. It's like, what do you mean train? I still do. And it's just lady in power suit fighting Ada Wong with like a machine gun. It's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This is so funny.
Oh man, that does sound good. And that's like, is that in Degeneration as well?
I don't know, because I watched them all in a row because I was like writing yesterday and I had them on in the background and just looked up for the action scenes and just burst out laughing.
Fair. Yeah, Vendetta is what I meant to say, but yeah. Oh god, no, we haven't gone over the Silent Hills movies because
they were okay.
I haven't watched them myself because like I'm not a big horror person.
They nailed the tone to a degree. And like the big aspect, one of the big aspects of Silent Hill, because they did the thing of they didn't do any singular story from Silent Hill. They like married together a couple of different plot lines and like create something kind of unique while also like borrowing elements from the thing, which is probably the best way to do it. And they have like a lot of like imagery in it that's really uncomfortable, which is it suits a Silent Hill game because those games are super uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like it is. Like I think we talked before about Silent Hill 2 having a lot of allusions, to repressed like sexual urges and things like that.
Yeah,
that's a big aspect of the game. And then in the Silent Hill movie, they have a lot of allusions to the fact like a little girl in the movie was sexually assaulted. It's never said outright, but it's hinted at, and it's real fucking uncomfortable when like that. And some of the things that you see like when Pyramid Head turns up. And Pyramid Head stabs through a doorway with his giant sword, and then bugs start pouring in. And it's like, oh, that's like just a metaphor for the little girl being sexually assaulted and then contracting an STD. And that's like not me reading into it. That's like what the director has said. Like, the director said that's what it's supposed to be a direct allusion to. Why is there a dude in my chat yelling at Nightbot? It's a fucking robot programmed to just detect spam. Dude, you're not going to win. I hate when people do that.
God, yeah.
I love when people just argue with a fucking robot.
That is programmed to do one thing and it did what it was told.
Yeah. So hopefully that dude learns his lesson.
But Karl, I got a bit freaked out by this one.
Okay. Is this one you don't remember?
No. This one I remember. Well, I remember occurring. I didn't watch it, obviously.
Okay.
But Need for Speed, which came out at the start of 2014, 7 years ago.
Yeah, because that was is it
Aaron
Paul?
So that threw me off more because that's like 7 years ago, and that's when Aaron Paul was like done with Breaking Bad already, or like towards the end of it.
Well, it came out the same year that Breaking Bad ended.
Yeah.
It's the first big project he had after Breaking Bad. And it's the I guess I can like spoilers for a 7-year-old Breaking Bad. The end of Breaking Bad is Jesse driving off into the distance in a car, and there was all like the jokes that that's the start of Need for Speed.
And like, yeah, he had a very promising career after fucking Breaking Bad, and then the first thing he got thrown into afterwards is Need for Speed.
Yeah, and I remember seeing a lot of interviews about that movie for some reason, and you can tell that Aaron Paul did not give a fuck because he said the same thing in every interview. It's, oh yeah, you know, we try. It's reminiscent of all those old car movies like Bullet and Ronin and things like that. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, that's what they've told you to say. What
Mhm.
do you think about it? And he had no original thoughts about the movie himself. He was just repeating the same line of, yeah, it's reminiscent of all those great car driving movies. It's like, are you going to mention Fast and Furious? Because that's your competition now. Your competition
Yeah.
isn't a movie from the 80s, it's Fast and Furious. What are you doing to top that?
The answer was very little, Carl, because as far as I'm aware, Need for Speed didn't go into fucking space,
No.
and
And
I'm
Fast
pretty
and
sure
Furious,
that's what Fast and Furious did or is doing. I haven't watched them, but
there's no dinosaurs in Need for Speed, that's for sure. So what we got next? Like Need for Speed, fucking hell.
uh,
That just crashed and burned, didn't it?
that did, and like that. The next one after that's Hitman Agent 47, which we talked about. The one after that, I think, was like looked like it was going to be okay to me, and then when it came out, it was apparently not good. Which Warcraft.
That was good because it made money in China.
Uh,
It was massive. If you
yeah,
want to check the box office,
I've just looked up then, and it looks like it's the highest earning of this
video game
list.
movie of all time. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
$439 million.
yes, it made all of its money in China because it's just a CGI spectacle, and movies like that, Western movies like that, tend to do well in China because they're the easiest to translate for a Chinese audience because it's just fucking action, and that's why Avatar did so well over there because it's just a visual spectacle.
Mhm.
You don't really need to know the story.
And as well, Warcraft is a huge name at this point.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why you got stuff like Monster Hunter being made,
Mhm.
where it was just going to be a huge CGI clusterfuck that they were pivoting to sell to China.
Yeah.
And the story with that is that they had a racist joke and a racist joke against Asian people in like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Is that how early on in the film that joke
It's
is?
like one of the first lines in the movie is just a racist Asian joke.
Oh yeah, because
That
it's still
Chinese.
like when they're in the desert before they get transported into the Monster Hunter world, isn't it?
Yeah, and that line was picked up by Chinese censors, and they were like, well, "You can't fucking release a movie in China. That's insulting Chinese people. Fuck you." And that movie died. Like it was in cinemas in China for one day,
And
and
this
then they removed.
was what, like, released during lockdown as well, so China was one of the only places they could release it.
Yeah, it was on the only markets where they physically allow people to go to the cinema. Um, all because they decided in a movie where they were bending over backwards to like lick China's shit covered boot heel, let's just put a racist joke in there about Asian people. I'm sure they'll love that. The
Yeah.
notoriously like censor happy Chinese government is going to love to have a just a mocking jab at Asian people in this movie.
Yeah, it's very weird to make all that effort to try and appeal to the Chinese audience. And we're obviously saying Chinese audience specifically, not like Asia in general, because China is so populated, it makes so much money. The film does well there.
Yeah, and that's why. And that movie was so heavily marketed towards China to the point where I guarantee you nobody listening to the sound of my voice right now saw an advert for that film because it wasn't marketed towards you. It wasn't for
Yeah,
you.
like
It was for
I
China.
saw the trailer on YouTube when it was announced, but like I
Yeah.
didn't
Did you ever
see
see a poster for
actual
it?
marketing. But
No, it was
obviously,
all in China.
why would we see marketing? We were locked inside and couldn't go to the
Yeah,
cinemas.
all the marketing was in China because they wanted that Warcraft money. It's like, oh, big CGI spectacle. That's Chinese audiences love that.
Yeah, and I heard
Not when
like the Warcraft movie was like
it's all right.
decent, but I know a lot of people that like Warcraft fans that were like, no, no, no.
Yeah, it's fine for what it was,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was good enough to market over there, and that's why a lot of like movies based on video games are probably going to look like that.
yeah, for sure. And we've got like one that I keep saying bad one, but they're all bad ones really. But
Mhm.
another one that was quite hyped is Assassin's Creed.
Oh man, it just looks so bad because
Um,
Assassin's Creed's poisoned anyway because they, for some reason, still cling to the idea of the Animus, which I
yeah,
contend is the worst aspect of that entire series. And the fact that it is the backbone of every single game in the series makes me not give a fuck about any of them.
no, and like I get that they wanted to have some kind of connection between every game, but
They didn't need
even
to.
some of the games didn't give a shit because like Black Flag basically made it a joke about fucking QA testers being the people in the Animus.
But they still put it in.
But then they
I
still put it
recall.
in the newest games where it's like
Yeah, I
All
hate it.
5
I hate it
games
so
later,
much.
it's just
Just
please
fucking
stop.
get rid of it. Start again. Reboot the series and just remove the animus. 'Cause I remember I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins, like the one in Egypt,
Mhm.
and I was playing it for like a good 4 or 5 hours. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of getting into this game. I'm kind of having fun. And then just, boom, what the fuck's that? Oh, for fuck's sake. Zooms out, and it's the animus scene. I'm like, oh, I'm done. Just immediately turn the game off. I'm fucking done.
Yeah, that's what happened with me in Odyssey. Is like I was just trundling around the opening area for a bit and like doing a couple of side missions and played a few hours, and then the animus bit turned up. I was like, fucking
I
turn it off.
I don't know why they like insist on sticking to it. It's so bad. But
But there they got like Michael Fassbender in, and they, you know, marketed it, but it was not good. It did relatively well, like 240 million. So
it did
pretty
have,
decent in terms of like the video game
yeah, it had pretty decent
market.
practical effects as well, because they really did strap Michael Fassbender to like a giant robot penis that swung him around.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
All the behind the scenes. Well, it's a more interesting movie to watch, like the behind the scenes stuff, of than actually see the movie itself.
Yeah, certainly. Like I watched like a making of trailer, and that was more interesting than the actual film trailer.
Yeah,
But okay, yeah, that's all I need to know really. It's like Michael Fassbender can't sell me on this
no, I, unless he was playing Magneto in the movie.
one. That would be great. Assassin's Creed, where is it? Oh, it takes place in like 1940s, and starts like a young guy learning to control his powers as an assassin.
Hmm.
No, as Magneto. It's like, oh right, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Like, and I'm guessing now we're getting to like the end of it now. So any ones recently would be like Monster Hunter, and then any we've missed.
Yet one that I want to mention that I think is probably the most successful, like in terms of just nailing it for a video game movie so far, is Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's the thing. It's based on the universe, but it's a completely
Well,
unique story.
it's based on the universe and takes the name of the game that was on like the 3DS, but has nothing to do with the 3DS game's storyline.
And that's the best way to do it.
But yeah, like in terms of just nailing the vibe of like a Pokemon world and just having a very simple, basic story that everyone can follow, but as a charming character, like actor like Ryan Reynolds to hold it all together.
Yeah, I still wish it was Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito would have been
I
great.
still wish it was Danny DeVito. I'm still mad that it's not, because it was
Yeah,
originally supposed to be him.
um,
And
yeah, like as I say, they really nailed what it looked and felt like in terms of just this feels like a world where Pokemon live in it.
yeah, and one thing I want to ask, if you're getting basically now to like the end of it, is there a section that's just the movies that have yet to be announced, or ones that are like in pre-production?
There,
Because I'd be
there is.
curious about so what video game movies are currently being made. So let's like put
So
our marketing hats on now and anticipate how well these are going to do.
the first one, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this game. So that's called Werewolves Within, and it's Ubisoft.
I've never heard of that game. Do you know what
So,
that might be? That might be like a movie and a game being released at the same time.
but I haven't even heard
Oh,
of the game. It's meant to come out June 25th, 2021.
but what series is it based? Click on it, see what it's based on. Because it might be like based on like a universe they own. Oh, Werewolves Within. I can't think what that'd be. What game is it based on? Is it based on a game called Werewolves Within we've just never played? That'd be
I
awesome.
don't know. Unless
There's
this
a
is
new,
literally just it's released by Ubisoft and it's a movie
so it counts as a like
based
they're
on
dipping the toe.
hang on, based on oh my Jesus Christ.
What is
Based
it?
on Werewolves Within by Red Storm Entertainment is a
Is Werewolves
multiplayer
Within?
VR game for Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and PlayStation
That's why
5,
we've never heard of it.
released in 2016. Like this is a weird grab.
That's why we've never heard of it. Okay, fuck that then. And any
So
other
yeah,
unannounced?
moving on. You got Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
Is that like the reboot series they're trying to do where it's like, fuck it, we know
Yeah.
that those were bad. RE2 did gangbusters. So let's like, just get back to, because all they need to do is just make Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
Just
and I
make
think
Resident Evil 2
they
as a
are
fucking
going
video game.
for
They're
that kind of
done.
cast, aren't they? They've got like I think they've literally got like Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, Leon,
It's so baffling. Like you have
Jill.
like Like, oh, here's RE4. Just make RE4 a movie.
Yeah.
Done.
So yeah, that's the Resident Evil reboot with like a cast that isn't just somebody's wife. But then we have the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland in it.
Yeah, that could be interesting. If they're going to nail the town now.
Yeah, and
The town we said earlier, the mummy
again,
movie.
like, what movie or what video game movie could succeed really easily? Like Tomb Raider or Uncharted, because they're just Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones itself has proven to work as a movie, so...
Yeah, and Tom Holland is like, I wouldn't say he's a bankable actor yet, because he's not yet been established in Hollywood long enough. He's like been in some big movies, but he is just like a good name to put on a project that people trust.
Yeah, and it's weird, isn't it, though, of like, it has got a bankable actor, but one that I would say is a bit less charming, and that's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
So Mark Wahlberg is playing alongside him as Sully, and like, you've got young Nathan Drake being played by Tom Holland, and I'm just like, Tom Holland, yeah, cool, like, up and rising, like, star that is in, like, Avengers and stuff and seems really likable, alongside Mark Wahlberg.
Fair enough. We'll see if Tom Holland can, like, make up for the charisma vacuum that is Mark Wahlberg.
But he's meant to be charismatic, Sully, but at the same time, he's like the older, grumpy one. So it's like, he might make it work.
All he needs to do is have like one good, like, if they can do a live action version of the train scene, then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
And that needs to be the opening scene. The opening scene needs to be like just the most ridiculous scene. Like, again, like the Hitman movie I pitched. Opening to the movie needs to be like just Tom Holland just bumble fucking his way through the most catastrophic accident you've ever seen.
I guess and he just stands up. At the same time, like, this is like young Nathan Drake. So I don't know how bombastic they're gonna get.
That's how he always did it, isn't it? Like, that's the start of, like, is it number 2 where it's in the train or the plane crash? Where it crashes in the desert and he stands up and you have like the title card opening.
Oh, that's number 3, yeah.
That's like, you need something like that.
Yeah, you definitely need something crazy and ridiculous.
And what you do is you release that. Sorry.
Even number 2 starts as like a flash forward where the train's just crashed and you're like climbing up the train that's been crashed on the side of the cliff, and like then it's like, oh, and then flashback to see what happened to get there.
And what they need to do is they need to upload just that 10-minute clip as just like to YouTube.
You say that, but like, how many people watched the first 7 minutes they uploaded of Mortal Kombat and went, right, I'm done, that's all I need to see?
Well, that's all you need to see, because it's the only part with Scorpion in it, is it? It's the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight, so you're done.
And it's like,
done.
Why would you put that out for free?
Yeah, that's the only part of the movie people want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And you can put it at the start of the movie, but just put like, I was about to say Johnny Cage fight, but fucking movie.
He's teasing the sequel.
Put a Liu Kang fight as your teaser, but don't use your free teaser as fucking Sub-Zero Scorpion.
Yeah, but yeah, it's teased for the sequel, and it might be Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is actively campaigning for the role.
Or like, I've also seen, I don't know if this means anything to you anymore. Don't know how much you know about wrestling, but the character The Miz is campaigning.
Yeah, he could work,
and he is like the WWE equivalent of Johnny Cage.
Plus, as well, he has the look, and he's been in so many like bad directed DVD movies that he could nail the thing of washed up actor who think he's great.
Yeah, and I saw it and went, I wouldn't be mad if The Miz got to be Johnny Cage at all.
Johnny Cage needs to be a martial artist, because his backstory is that he actually is a good martial artist, but everyone thinks it's special effects because they're so good.
And yeah, like, I remember like one of my friends who's like really into WWE, like, not made me, but invited me to watch some wrestling. I was like, I don't really know any of these new people, but The Miz came on and I was like, I like that guy. You
can tell he writes all his own lines.
Yeah, he sticks out straight away.
But he could do it, yeah. Like, he'd nail that, just like cockiness, because he's a wrestler and he's larger than life. It's like part of his brand, like, so he could do that.
100%.
But either way,
I also would love Ryan Reynolds at the same time.
They're like washed up older Johnny Cage.
Yeah. Yeah, like we've mentioned, like the next one is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
No fucks given. I don't care.
I don't care, but like, I don't think the first movie was too bad in the end. Like, I think it was fine for what it was, and like apart from the weird owl shit that they put in, like
which was clearly from an earlier cut of the movie where they had more CGI of Sonic, but they didn't want to redo it all.
and like apart from that weirdness of the like the origins of Sonic and stuff and whatnot, but yeah, the rest of the movie was on brand with Sonic, I think.
What a solid 6 out of 10.
I was actually about to
That's
say
the
it's
Sonic.
probably one of the better Sonic products to come out of the last 10 years.
I still can't believe when you put that tweet out of what you think Sonic was 20 years ago and what it actually was, and it was like the picture of Sonic Adventure 2 and then the one for what it actually was, it's just the tombstone. You got actual messages from salty Sonic fanboys. It's like, you're not doing like the reputation of this fan base any favors by literally doing what everyone expects you to do.
Yeah.
Which is just be a salty bitch about Sonic sucking ass. And then is there any more unannounced movie projects?
So there's a couple more. There's like the Borderlands one.
I have no interest in it.
Uh,
It's just going to be the Jumanji movie again.
Yeah, it looks like it, and it's got a good cast, but yeah,
How
I'm
many
not,
movies have been saved by a
not too
good
sure.
cast?
There's some like some that are quite definitive, and some that are very nebulous. Like there's like sequels coming up for like Detective Pikachu and the Tomb Raider movie.
That,
Then there's things.
that got a sequel? There's no way that made enough money to get a fucking sequel.
Which one? The Tomb Raider.
The Alicia Vikander one.
Says here Tomb Raider, 274 million. So like a
Yes.
decent amount of money.
But sequels, like, they generally get less money.
That's true, but like that's still a decent amount for a video game movie.
I guess as well at this point, it's like, fuck it, just throw money at the wall and see what sticks.
But yeah, we've got a lot of like more tentative ones here. And okay,
Is the Halo movie still there? Because that's been on like.
It doesn't
that's
say
been
that
rumored
here,
for a
but you've got movies like Gears of War, Ghost Tsushima, and then it comes up as like Just Cause, yeah, Just Dance.
I reckon they could do like if they just slap that branding because Just Dance is really popular
And just
they
make a
slap
step
that
up the
branding.
movie.
Yeah, just make Step Up again.
Yeah. Got Mega Man apparently.
That's never getting made.
Minecraft, Rabbids, Space
Never getting made.
Invaders, like
Never getting
Saints Row.
made. That could work. A Saints Row movie could work if they really leaned into how stupid Saints Row is.
But you know what could work better than Saints Row?
What's that?
The Untitled Yakuza film.
Well, Yakuza is basically a movie as it is.
Exactly,
if they put the same level of action in it, I'm down.
But that again, that needs to be like they lean hard into the tone of Yakuza.
And the soundtrack.
And the soundtrack, yeah.
And the soundtrack and the action. And the style.
I missed out one that we probably have like something to say about is the Metal Gear Solid film as well.
I have no fuck. I do not care. That series is incomprehensible. There's no way they're going to make a cohesive movie out of it.
Well, that's what I mean. I figured we had a bit more to say about that. Of just like, yeah, like
it's incomprehensible. What would you do?
You play those games for what? 15, 20 hours, like the original trilogy, and you're like, this makes very little sense.
Yeah, they're going to have to like strip that universe down to its bones,
and it's going to have to be just what a pretty basic standard like.
It's going to be a spy thriller, and I don't care about spy thriller.
It's gonna have to try to be what like Mission Impossible or some shit.
But then, like Metal Gear Solid was never about its scale.
Yeah.
If anything, like all the Metal Gear Solid games are really small scale in the grand scheme of things.
Obviously, you're stopping plot and
you're stopping like nuclear annihilation, but the idea is that the whole point is that nuclear annihilation can happen from like one small thing. That's the idea, isn't it? It's like you're crawling through. It's one man crawls through a base to stop total annihilation because that happens on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, just even though I've heard like the director's a massive fan of the games and stuff, I'm just like, but how do you take this ridiculous, very serious, and very stupid game, this super long, super convoluted, has a load of weird characters in it, and put that in a 2-hour movie that makes any sense?
It's going to be like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where they just introduce characters without any explanation. Like Grey, and do you know what? I'd be alright with that. If they just in the middle of the movie, Grey Fox turns up, I'd be down with that.
And apparently, like Oscar Isaac's pinned as a snake, which I'm not mad about.
He's like decent actor. He looks the part.
He does, yeah. But I'm very, very like
Ambivalent.
confused about how they can sell Metal Gear, because it is a movie, but they're all like 20-hour movies that are completely nonsensical.
Also, what game are they basing it on? 'Cause
Uh,
that
as
will inform
far
if
as
I'm excited
I'm
or not.
aware, I'm like going off something in the back of my head that I might have misremembered. I think it's based off Metal Gear Solid.
Just the first one.
Yeah.
Because if it was number 3, then I'd be interested, because that means we get the boss,
Yeah, we'd get the boss, and we'd get the origin story, which,
which makes more sense.
makes a bit more sense rather than dropping you into the middle of like, oh yeah, but I'm
A
Snake.
clone.
I'm not like naked Snake. I'm Solid Snake. But then you've got Liquid Snake. And it's already a convoluted mess when you get to
Yes,
Metal
but if
Gear
they
Solid.
start at number 3, it can be a very like simple, in big air quotes, story about trying to stop a nuclear launch.
Mhm.
And also, then you get Volgin. And we could get Volgin in, and we could get the Shagohod moment, which should be fucking incredible.
And then
I want the fucking Shagohod.
I can't remember the name of the bosses. Get all of those like really
The
iconic
Fury,
cool bosses.
the end.
Because
And
I
we
can't
get
remember
the
the
boss.
name of the actual squad. Can you?
Cobra unit.
The Cobra unit. That's the one.
We get the Payne.
Like, for some reason in my head, like the Cobra unit wasn't there, but the Snake Squad was. I was like,
You
I
know
know it's
what?
not the Snake Squad.
The Snake Squad works too.
Yeah.
Well, that's, or if they just say fuck it, we're going straight into 2021, because that's when the game is set, and we're doing a Metal Gear Avengers movie.
Oh god.
Just straight into it. That'd be great.
So who's this cyborg? You don't need to worry about it.
Who gives a fuck?
His nickname's Jack the Ripper, and he gets glowy red eyes and murders everything, and like eats people's backs through his arm.
I hope that it does okay, just so we can get a second one, so we can have a scene of Raiden fist fighting the president on top of, like, the fucking downtown. I think on top of Wall Street with a samurai sword. That's what I want. That's the kind of shit I want from a Metal Gear Solid, but we're never going to get it. And it's never going to be what I want. We're never going to have the scene from Metal Gear Solid 4 where you fight Ray with Rex.
Oh god.
And you start firing lasers and shit. So we're not going to have that.
And this is my argument with, video game movies in general, is even if they get to a point where they make that, like, why is that better than what we've already got?
Because I'm not playing it, so it's not as hype.
Like, I'm sitting there, okay, well, you've recreated one of the coolest, hypest moments in all of Metal Gear. We've got Ray versus Rex, and I sit there and watch a well choreographed fight, potentially, and it's like, but instead I could go play Metal Gear Solid 4 and just like get super hype and play that moment myself.
Yeah, it's like if they did Metal Gear Solid 3 and you do the fight with the boss at the end. So I don't care how good you choreograph that. It's not going to be as good as when I'm throwing snakes at her. And I'm just like doing like the fucking jab cancels on her as a snake biting her ankles. Like, huh, 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 huh. That's my fight. That's how it ended for me.
But then the second time you do it, where you just pull out the Patriot and Infinite missile, like, oh no.
It's like, you want to go down. Like, it's time to be an American hero. And just paint the American flag on your face, strip to your waist, and whip out the M60.
You're never going to get the Shagohod moment as well, where you're insta-reloading rocket launchers. Like,
You're never going to get this. Someone says, well, in chat, what about a Cyberpunk 2077? We got that. It's called Cats. That's about as close as you're going to get, because it's a movie where it doesn't fucking work.
And they keep having to patch it after launch. That game is still not back on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's still not patched.
So, PC Warriors unite, but goddamn, like, PlayStation don't see that game as sellable on their console yet.
And they sell Legend of Black Tiger, so you know that shit. If you don't know what Legend of Black Tiger is, go look up Legend of Black Tiger.
And the person who made that still keeps releasing awful games on PlayStation and getting them published every couple of years.
Why not? Anyway, you know what, Luke? I think that discussion, that we could bring that together, because I just imagining. There's no way they could do it, could they? They couldn't have like any of the dumb stuff that you could do in the game in a movie, and that'd be sucks. Like, so they even have like little nods to the silly things in the games themselves. Like when Snake points his bandana, it's like infinite ammo.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
And what how can you like make a movie where you stop watching the Metal Gear Solid film, change the clock on your like Xbox,
Yeah,
and then the end just dies instead of having a fight? You can't do that.
you can't now. You couldn't have like what is it now? Like the fight against fucking Raven, where you're just throwing grenades, like 3 grenades, and it killed the tank. It wouldn't be hype. It wouldn't be satisfying in a movie, but it's so satisfying in the game. Also, I just do not want to know what they're going to do with Sniper Wolf. She is going to be the most embarrassing character in that movie, and I don't want to see it.
That's also the other side of it, isn't it? Of like all
How
of those
racist is it gonna
really
be?
overly sexualized female characters. It's like,
Yeah. It's bad enough in a video game. I don't want to see it in a movie because I don't want to know. Like, you know what? The actress needs a paycheck. She don't need it that bad.
and as well, like if we're gonna do Metal Gear Solid 1, how do you make Psycho Mantis as cool when it's just a movie? Like the main character goes, "Oh no, he's reading my mind." Like, but okay, that doesn't have any impact on us. But when he turns around, he's like, "Oh, I see you like Castlevania." It's like,
Yeah,
how does he know that?
that's why Metal Gear Solid is such a great series, like for video games, because it takes full advantage of the medium
Yeah.
and all the like things that you can do with it. Like it, detects you, read your memory card. Some versions of the game, like they read your internal clock. Like they test the limits of what you're able to do with just like the fucking hardware in some cases.
Yeah, and like, was it which Metal Gear was it where you like have to find the code, like the
I guess Solid One.
was
It's
it Metal Gear Solid 1 on the back of the case?
and they
It
tell you to look
has
at the back of the case.
the code for like the radio frequency that you need,
Yep, they tell you look at the back of your case.
and then pirates go, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? No."
Oh, but yeah, we could call it there for today. But Lucas, like, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I'll just do my usual plug. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at LegendOfKanto, and then
Yep.
you can find me on like Twitter and Instagram at Kanto Legend _.
Yeah. And then for the people on my Twitch stream right now, you can put !Lucas to find Lucas's Twitch stream. To follow us both for later when we're playing Viva Pinata.
Yeah,
Is it?
specifically Trouble in Paradise.
Yes, Viva Pinata 2. We're doing that later. And then for mine, I guess I'll just plug at Karl Smallwood. You can find all that stuff everywhere. And then I now have a Discord. Not talked about that.
Yeah.
We can end on that. I now have a Discord. There's probably people in the chat from the Discord now because I've tried multiple times to make a Discord. And I've now made another one. And I've realized, I think what the problem was with Discord is that I made a Fact Fiend Discord. And making a Fact Fiend Discord is like inviting several thousand people at once.
Yeah.
To come into the same place. And that probably isn't a good idea. Because not everyone there is going to want to talk about the same thing or even be part of that group.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to pop in and just say one thing. And that maybe it's like similar to when we do Twitch streams where we announce them on the main channel.
Yeah.
And we just get like, 300-400 people coming in and just saying, oh, hey, love the videos, and then just like fucking off, which is fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time.
So like you've got this Discord, what to just like basically talk about your twitching specifically, like you streaming instead.
It's just for the Twitch streams, and then people like who follow those.
Yes.
Because I realize that that's a smaller community that I have. And it'd be easier for me to manage. And I got a friend of a channel, Miles of Conquest TV. He helped me set up the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's like got moderation in place, which something I didn't have before. Now, I did have it, but obviously not enough and to the same scale. And obviously, when you scale up, I think it's like 100 people in it now.
Right. Yeah.
Like when you times that by 10, that's 10 times as many people to do it. So yeah, there is a Discord that you can find. I'm not sure where it'd be linked for the people listening at home right now, but I know if people do !Discord in my chat, they can find it there.
Well,
but
Karl, I'll come into your chat, grab that link, and I'll put it in the description of this.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can do that right now. But yeah, that's specifically for the Twitch stream. So if you want to talk about the videos, I don't care. Yeah, you know what? That's my job. That's my job. There's not really much to say about videos. There's not really much we can say about them. Some people ask. The only thing we ever get asked about videos is what's your favorite one?
Yeah.
We don't take requests or suggestions, so I don't see the value in a Fact Fiend Discord, whereas one for the Twitch stream, I think probably has a bit more. utility, at least for me, from like the pragmatic sense of it's just another place to advertise when I'm streaming, because that's something I want to lean a bit harder into, because it's a good fallback plan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or not even, or just like a good thing to supplement the income that I make from YouTube.
Yeah, and someone in my chat asked, like, can I plug my Patreon? Yeah, I tend not to, but you can find a Discord via my Patreon, so you can go to Patreon as well, and that's just LegendOfKanto on there.
Mhm.
And I think like what I might do is just like currently, to be open and honest about it, like behind like the $5 tier, but I'm thinking just to be able to get a few more people in, maybe put it down to like just my $1 tier of just like that was pretty much there so people wouldn't come in grief. But I feel like even for $1, people aren't probably going to bother. So I'm thinking of just like moving that around and hopefully getting a bit more like of a community going on there.
Yeah. That's what I thought with mine as well. Yeah, try and like build the stuff around my Twitch, because like the channel, like, it has such a wide and varied audience that it'd be impossible to ever build a cohesive community around it, or at least one that I'd be able to interact with in any meaningful way.
Yes. Yeah.
So I said I refer back to streams where we announce on the main channel, and it's just for that initial rush of people, and there's no way to talk to anyone there, because it's just a swathe of people just mentioning the same three things over and over again.
That's very true, yeah. And like I know that some Discords like split it up into like different chat categories and stuff. But again, if people are just there to like talk about videos, that's quite hard to do.
Yeah, and there's not really much we can do. Oh man, must have permission to try. Fucking hell, I've got an invalid invite on there. I have to fix that right now. But I have to do it. I have to get onto my Nightbot and change the thing.
Oh right, okay. So just maybe send me a link via Discord instead, then like just so I can get the right
I'll figure it out.
the right link for people to put in chat. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'll stay on my chat for a couple of minutes, and I'll post it in there if there's anyone there who does want to see it. But I will now close off on my audio for you, Lucas.
Fabulous.
And end the podcast.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll be back in a bit.